First of all, thank you very much for having me. I would like to tell you firstly that I don't have a PPT क्योंकि PPT ना बनानी पड़े इसलिए मैं राइटर बना. So I am also an engineer. I have done diploma in civil engineering. I have done bachelor's. I have done masters, and then I did MBA. और फिर PPT से डर के मैं राइटर बन गया. So because of my technical background, I've always been exposed to a lot of technologies, and I also used to work in a corporate company where I was a business consultant. और मेरा काम था, मैं बहुत ही niche field में था, because after my MBA, my specialization was finance and insurance. So then I went into a company which was giving business intelligence solutions to insurance companies. So I mean, that's where I started my journey in the corporate world, and I realized that I'm not meant for that, and then somewhere I left my job and became a writer. Okay, so let's start today's talk about storytelling. So I would like to tell you both perspectives, the perspective of technology and the perspective of storytelling and creativity. So storytelling is what? Ultimately everything is storytelling. That's what I've realized over a period of time. एक दादी या नानी अपने बच्चे को कहानी सुनाती है, वो तो है ही स्टोरी टेलिंग. हम है प्रोफेशनल स्टोरी टेलर्स जो कहानियाँ लिखते हैं, फिल्में लिखते हैं. A broker selling you something is also telling a story. A teacher teaching you is telling a story. A marketeer making an ad campaign is making a story. So, and one of the biggest leaders of the world are also, telling you some sort of stories to, guide you in a certain direction. So, whatever you are doing, okay, eventually it will boil down to how well you tell stories, okay, because eventually somewhere you will have to appear for interviews, and there also you will be telling a story about yourself, okay, and once you move forward in your career, okay, how that storytelling will shape you, it depends on yourself, also on the world of technology. Okay, तो कहानियां कहने का सिलसिला कहाँ से शुरू हुआ होगा? I think the whole scenario must have started when cavemen used to gather around campfires, और वो एक दूसरे को कहानियां सुनाते होंगे कि today I went for a hunting expedition and इतना बड़ा जानवर था, हम ऐसे गए, हमने ऐसे एम्बुश किया, हमने ऐसे जानवर को मारा. And similarly, they used to draw pictures on the walls of their caves. So that was also, the intention was to have, some sort of teaching which will last, okay, for the next generations. So even after they pass away, okay, someone can see the pictures and decipher कि कैसे hunt करना है, या कैसे हमारे पूर्वजों ने hunt किया होगा. Okay, there were stories in those pictures. Okay, there were the pictures were of gods. Okay, they were of deities, and the pictures were also of their expeditions and adventures. Okay, so it must have started. Then it slowly graduated into folk theatre. Now I used to be a theatre person, and I have written many plays, and that's how I started. I became a writer because I was always a thespian. So there used to be folk theatre in Gujarat called Bhavai, okay, and I used to modernize Bhavai and tell newer stories through that. So there used to be, it's a musical form. So Gujarat में भवाई है, महाराष्ट्र में तमाशा है, साउथ में यक्षगान है या कथकली है, नॉर्थ में नौटंकी है, काफ़ी सारे अपने इंडिया में फोक थिएटर्स रहे. तो दैट इज लाइक ओरल ट्रेडिशन and enacting the stories. And most of those stories were always for the betterment of the society. They were trying to teach you something. Okay, they were trying to tell you about virtues, about the good things in life, what to do, what not to do, stuff like that. So, I mean, and as things evolved, from folk theatre we went into plays which were written. Okay, so in Greece there were plays of Sophocles, the great tragedies, comedies, Oedipus Rex, stuff like that. In India we have one of the oldest cultures of theatre, which was basically Sanskrit theatre. And I would like to give an example of Shudraka's Mritshakatikam. And Mritshakatika was basically made into a film later on. The film was called Utsav. Okay, and it's a 2000-year-old play. And it is about the vices and virtues and what not to do in life, because the protagonist is somewhere a gambler, okay, who loses everything and what happens to him. Okay, and from Sanskrit Nataks we slowly go into the era of Gutenberg's printing press. So before that, whatever literature we had, okay, was written by hand, हस्तलिपि जिसे हम कहते हैं. So हस्तलिपि में से इवॉल्व होते होते पहुंचते हम प्रिंटिंग प्रेस तक, and which later on democratizes the creativity, the storytelling, because now you can reach to wider masses. Okay, you don't need to, even if you perform like a folk theatre, has a limited reach, because वो जितने लोग देख रहे हैं उन्हीं तक पहुंच पाता है. But once printing presses came in, okay, you can print your literature and the literature goes out and everyone reads it. Okay, then the same thing applies for visual storytelling, that can also be printed and distributed. And that's the past of storytelling and how it sort of evolved. Okay, and then we come to the present. We come to the present in this time. मैं आपको हमारे ही कुछ एग्जांपल्स देता हूँ कि जो फिल्में मैंने लिखी है वो मोस्टली दे हैव बीन बेस्ड अराउंड माइथोलॉजीज एंड फोक टेल्स. तो वो आती है हमारी पास्ट में से, हमारी ट्रेडिशंस में से, हमारी माइथोलॉजी में से, और मैं उनका भरपूर इस्तेमाल करता हूँ अपनी कहानियों में. कि जैसे कि भेड़िया है, तो भेड़िया एक अरुणाचल प्रदेश का फोक टेल है, विच इज अबाउट अ लेजेंड कॉल्ड यापूम. यापूम इज अ शेप शिफ्टिंग लेजेंड. तो उसके ऊपर से वी डिवाइज दिस कैरेक्टर, ओके, हु इज एक लालची इंजीनियर है जो लैंड एक्विजिशन करने गया है, लेकिन वो रात को खुद he converts into a wolf. So during the day what he is trying to do is he is trying to bribe people and all, and at night he kills those people that he has bribed. Okay, so I mean that's how we derive a lot from our folk tales. Second example I would like to give you is, of course, Munjya, which has been one of the biggest hits last year. Okay, and it was a completely VFX generated character. Basically it's a legend of Konkan. Okay, in Konkan region वहाँ पे एक मान्यता है कि यज्ञोपवीत संस्कार जब होता है बच्चे का, so there are 4 stages of life: ब्रह्मचर्याश्रम, गृहस्थाश्रम, वानप्रस्थाश्रम एंड संन्यासाश्रम. तो इन ब्रह्मचर्याश्रम पहले जब जनेऊ दी जाती है, उसके 10 दिन में अगर बच्चा मर जाता है तो ही कन्वर्ट्स इनटू अ चाइल्ड मॉन्स्टर. ओके, एंड ही उसको चोटी होती है इसलिए उसको मुंजा बोलते हैं. मुंजा इज द वर्ड फॉर चोटी इन मराठी. सो जब शादी होती है तब बच्चों के एक सोड़ मुंजा की भी सेरेमनी की जाती है टू एंड signify the end of that period of life. Okay, so we made this character who is kind of a mischievous ghost. Okay, he's a monster also, and he's a kid also. Okay, and there are a lot of stories around this kind of legends in different parts of India. Like I told you, the example of Arunachal Pradesh, now Konkan. Okay, Stree also is from a legend from Karnataka. Okay, it's called Naleba. That literally means Kalana. Okay, and based on that, the first part was made. I haven't written it. I have written the second part. And yeah, so I mean the storytelling tradition sort of continues from deriving heavily from your folk tales and from your folk theatre, from your mythology. I have derived very heavily, okay, in all my films, and like Asura is also very heavily based in mythology and the scriptures. In a film like Bala, which is about a person going through hair loss. Okay, it's a very simple tale that he can't stand his face when he looks in the mirror. वो आईने में देख के खुद की शक्ल देख नहीं पाता है. Okay, so I mean he doesn't like the way he looks. Okay, but then I was trying to search for a metaphor which can signify the mental state that this guy is in, and I found it in the story of Kubja. Okay, Kubja was a hunchback female, और उसको कृष्ण ने छू के सुंदर बना दिया था. So all throughout the film we talk about that story. Okay, and eventually at one point Bhumi Pednekar's character also questions it कि भगवान ने गलत प्रेसिडेंट्स सेट किया है कि उसको सुंदर बनाने की क्या जरूरत थी, वो जैसी थी वैसी भी तो किसी को पसंद आ सकती थी. But eventually the conclusion of the film is that last line Bala says is that now अब जाके कुब्जा की कहानी हमें समझ में आई है कि श्री कृष्ण ने उसे छू के उसे सुंदर बनाया नहीं था, पर उसे उसकी खूबसूरती का एहसास दिलाया. Okay, so I mean that's how I've always been trying to weave in this folk tales and mythological tales in my scriptures, in my scripts, and I think the way forward, the future is very interesting, because I told you the aspect of technology in my life. I as a dissertation project of my master's, I developed an artificial neural network based model for canal openings. Okay, and that was like very initial days of AI, and you physically need to code the entire thing. You develop 3 layers: input layer, middle layer where the processing happens, and the output layer. So how it used to work is that you give certain inputs, a lot of data, because AI always works on large data sets. A lot of data you feed in, and then it processes it, and it predicts कि इतना rainfall होगा तो gate इतना open करना पड़ेगा. So now where we are at is that I mean ChatGPT can write a script. ChatGPT, there are a lot of other AI tools available in the world. They can write scripts, they can brainstorm with you, and what will happen in future? That's the question. Okay, what if 5 years down the line, Filmfare Award or Oscar Award, all the awards of the world are won by not humans but the chatbots? Okay, that those films are written by them. Okay, then what will happen? Will writers extinct, or will all the creatives or storytellers go extinct? Okay, that's the problem people are contemplating. There was a big strike in Hollywood very recently, okay, fighting against the use of AI. Okay, but how I see it is that as far as AI is concerned, it's still talking to a database. Okay, it's still talking to a vast amount of data. So what it is processing is something that already exists. Okay, and what you as creative can do is something that does not exist. Okay, that's what creativity is. You create something that nobody has ever imagined. Okay, you close your eyes without any references. Okay, you create something that nobody has ever imagined. Okay, and that's how you can fight against a system, okay, which can talk to a database which is already existing everywhere in the world. It has access to everything, but that's the challenge for every creative person going forward, no matter which field you are in. Okay, eventually it will boil down to this, because AI will be, I mean, almost replace all the mundane jobs of the world. It can code, it can write stories, it can write screenplays, okay, it can do various things. It can do copywriting, it can give you ideas, a lot of things it can do. Okay, so if you are not able to beat it, okay, as a creative or whichever field you are in, okay, you will go extinct. Okay, so I mean, the challenge in front of all of us is to pull our socks, okay, and to understand that the future is not going to be governed by AI, but it has to be governed by humans, okay, and our creativity will determine how AI also works, okay, and that's why I always say that, you know, the creativity is the key for future, okay. There are certain emotions that only humans can understand, okay, only humans can understand pain, only humans can understand love, only humans can understand suffering, okay, all those things, the laughter, how to induce laughter, okay, all those things humans can understand, and AI still isn't able to understand. Oh, I don't think in future, you know, somewhere it will be able to understand. It will be able to do a mediocre job, okay, but if you are outstanding at your work, and if your creativity is up to the mark, if it can create something that nobody has ever created, okay, you will be able to beat it, and it will always be like a friend to you with whom you can collaborate, or like a tool which you can always use. Thank you so much.